What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at you today with the update to my Plunder Patrol profile after the release of Lightning Overdrive. Before we get into the profile guys, I just want to give a quick shout out to newest subscriber Tinsouse. Thank you so much, you're the reason my channel is growing stronger. And I also want to quickly apologise that the profile's taken a bit of delay. I know Lightning Overdrive was a few weeks ago, but guys, I promise it's worth it because I've waited because I made myself a new Plunder Patrol playmat, so I wanted to do the profile with the playmat to showcase you guys. I will also point out before the profile that my build is currently as a going second build. I don't currently have a side deck figure out because even though my locals is reopened, they're not doing tournaments just yet. But yeah, we'll get into that. So without further ado guys, let's get into the profile. Okay, so guys, starting the profile off, we'll start with the Plunder monsters. So playing three Whitebeard, 3 Redbeard, 3 Bluebeard, 2 Golden Hair, and 3 of our brand new Black Eyes. So I'm liking this as the best. So I'm liking this as a ratio because I want to have as many discards as I want to be able to have as many discards as possible, and naturally all the Plunder Patrols have useful effects when they're discarded, with the exception of Golden Hair, but she naturally has a graveyard effect to revive herself. I cut Golden Hair down to 2 because I've been checking out the Plunder Patrol group on Facebook and loads of people are cutting her down to 2 because I think it's primarily because now we've got Black Eyes as an extender, she's not really as necessary as our go-to opener. So, and recently, yeah, I'm just finding this ratio works. I need to do a bit more testing, but my locals basically only opened this week, so I haven't had a dramatically large amount of time to test yet, but I'll figure it out over time. And then going into, continuing the monsters, pretty much the only other monsters I'm playing are hand traps as I'm going second package. So my hand traps of choice are 3 Ash, kind of standard. Then I've gone with 3 Phantasme. Lynx are seeing a lot more play at the moment, particularly with the new Tri-Brigade. And a couple other decks, haven't really been paying that much attention to the meta, but kind of just wanted Phantasme in there. He's also a dark target for things like Emblem. And then Ash covers the fire as well. And then other targets I'm playing, which I've seen being format specific, going with 2 Lancia and 2 Nibiru. I'm still currently rethinking these ones, but personally I think they're one of the best hand trap choices for the current format, so that's just what I'm going with. I'll probably adjust it once tournaments start up at my locals and I figure out what's being like really popular with my locals. Then going into the spell lineup, Plunder Patrol spells, I've got 3 Shipyard, then 3 Shipping, and 2 Emblem. So maxing out on Shipyard because naturally it's my searcher. I've cut out the terraforming because I've noticed that Droll is becoming more of a main deck thing now this format. So if I terraforming and I get Drolled right there, the Shipyard's essentially useless. If I get Drolled after the Shipyard, it's not so bad. Particularly if I'm going first, because that's the search of the Shipyard is like the only one we're really going to be doing. So that's fine. Playing 3 of the Shipping to just try and open it, go into a proper fusion summon of the Lease. So I've got a negate that I can bring back with Booty. Also, also the graveyard effect is now coming in handy a bit more now that we've got Black Eyes who can just summon Plunder Patrols out of our spell and trap zone, which is really good. And then I dropped Emblem to 2 because now by maxing out on Shipping, I've got the ability to search it straight out much more easier. And naturally, it's one of those cards that's just kind of a bit iffy going first because there's not really much to do with it unless you want to just quickly go into a Blackbeard with 1 monster. Then other spells I'm playing, got 3 Pot of Desires, basically the best draw card that we've got for the moment, and kind of need Konami to release like a more generic something for Fiends or Water Monsters. That would be nice. I mean, I know that there's Moray of Greed, but that's a really terrible draw card. But yeah, we'll see if we get like any better draw power for the deck, but for the moment Desires is the best option that we've got. And then one-off spells that I'm playing in the deck. One Call by the Grave, because the deck is quite vulnerable to hand traps. And one Feather Duster, just because we do seem to be a format where floodgates seem to be a bit more of a thing, so just kind of would like to have an option to get rid of them than not having one at all. And then finally traps, 3 Plunder Patrol Booty. Probably one of the best cards in the deck, helps us with matchups that we struggle attributes like, say, Zodiac for the moment. I know that's one of our worst matchups, but Booty lets us basically turn a monster into another attribute so we can at least play off of situations where we can't manipulate attributes, and also lets you recycle plunders, so that's really good as well. So that's it for the main deck. Going into the extra deck, the Plunder Patrols I'm playing 3 Blackbeard, and then 2 of the other ships, 2 Moark, 2 Lys, and 2 Bran. So cut each of these down so I could try and make space for some other stuff into my extra deck. And since we have the ability to recycle them with Booty, you don't really need to max out on them. Particularly Bran, since he probably comes up the least amount. But I wanted to max out on Blackbeard because he's naturally the best one, the one I always want to be able to summon properly. And then the others are like interchangeable depending on your matchup. This will probably change again once we get the Earth and Wind ships, but depending on what I take out is dependent on what the new ships do. And then other extra cards I'm playing are one Almirage, just because it's a natural, because Golden Hair makes this an easy 1-card Blackbeard, and Almirage is part of the reason why. Then one Dweller, just in case of graveyard matchups. Doesn't come up too frequently, but I'd rather have it than not. And because all the deck is water monsters, naturally everything gets a bit of a buff if I summon it. So again, why not? Then Bahamut and Toad, just as a going first option, because, guys, that's one of the things I've noticed with the deck, because we do rely a lot on the opponent. There's not too much we can do going first, unless you hard open the fusion monster and 2 Plunder Patrols to fusion into Lys. So Bahamut Toad is just a nice option of going first if we have to. Then Synchros, extra Synchros. 1 Dragite, Spell and Trap Negate. I'm kind of hoping they add a Spell and Trap Negate into one of the ships. That would be nice. But for the moment, Dragite's really nice as well. And also by playing Nibiru, that gives me an option that I can try as bouncing effect as well. And last one White Aura Whale. I only picked this up recently, otherwise I would have been playing it to begin with. When I read this card, I'm like, mate, this is insane. I really need to be playing this. So yeah, pick that up, so that's just a nice option as well. Okay, so that's the profile, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Naturally, leave a comment down below what you thought about it. Like the video as always if you enjoyed it. And if anyone would also like the design for the Plunder Patrol playmat that I have done, easiest way to contact me about it would be on Instagram. I use my Instagram to showcase all the playmats I've been doing over lockdown at the moment. For those who want, so my user on Instagram is the same as my YouTube name, makes it easier to remember, and just send me a message there and I will send it across to you. But thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Webbers5, and if you're already subscribed, feel free to hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload.